So, hi Damon,
Yep.
great to have you with us. You've taken a look at our website?
Yep.
What do you think of the name Kung Fu Kingdom?
I think it's a unique name. Obviously, Kung Fu is pretty commonplace in the martial arts, but I think the Kung Fu Kingdom has got a bit of a ring to it, so I think it's quite catchy.
Fantastic, brilliant. Thank you for that. Just for the benefit of viewers and people watching this, can you tell us a bit about how you first got into the martial arts?
I first started martial arts at the age of 11,
Yeah.
which I think when you become to professional or elite martial arts, it's quite late. It doesn't sound late, but it's later than a lot of people. Start like 4 or 5 years old. 11 years old, my dad was kind of an avid martial artist from the age of 16. I went to live with him when I was 11, and then I didn't really know about his martial arts too much, and then he turned out to be really, really good. So he started teaching me, and since then my dad has been my coach until I moved to Manchester to join the elite Taekwondo team. So done it from a young age and did kickboxing up until I was 23, and then applied for the Fighter Chance, which is an initiative that Taekwondo started to look for different martial artists and different styles to see if they could transfer, and then applied. And then 5 years later, I'm sitting here in the gym in Manchester.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, what other styles did you practice? Did you have a go at some of the other sort of martial arts apart from Taekwondo?
Yeah, what have I done? I started obviously doing kickboxing, but it was kind of a karate based. It was kind of a Wadaroo karate based. A lot of the katas and the styles come from my dad's initial style. So we did the kata system before changing to like the point fighting and kickboxing. I've done some boxing. I've competed in Tang Soo Do competitions, won the European Tang Soo Do Championship. What else have I done?
Tang Soo Do. Do you know Huang Jiang Li from the? He used to be a villain with Jackie Chan in.
Yeah.
He was
Tang
also
Soo Do.
Yeah.
So it's a Korean martial art. It's so it's similar to Taekwondo. So I did about a bit of that. What else have I done? Taekwondo, obviously. That's it.
Any ground and pound?
No. I would. You know what? I would. It does intrigue me, and I do like watching MMA. I'm not seeing obviously if I wanted to have a go at that, I'd spend so much time on the groundwork and preparation. I would just jump in. I know there's so much to it, but I would like to do it. I'd like to get in there.
Well, watch out, Conor McGregor. Okay. Who would you credit? Would it be your father who you credit as being the most influential sort of figure in the martial arts?
Yeah, I think my dad is obviously he brought me into martial arts and introduced me. Since then, he's taught a full-time martial arts kind of franchise, so it's been in the family the whole time. So he brought me into it, and there's been different figures in different stages of my life which I've looked up to, and different athletes and fighters that I've taken inspiration from. But he kind of introduced me, and without martial arts, I wouldn't be where I am today, and I don't think I would be who I am today. So I think not just the physical part of martial arts, it creates a character, and all the different attributes can transfer into all sorts of walks of life.
Right. So, who were a couple of your sort of previous teachers before your dad? Or
I would say, he's been my coach, my kickboxing. I then moved down to Nottingham, where I trained with Owen King in Nottingham. He's a kickboxing coach.
Right.
So Owen coached me when I was at university, which was really good of him, and spent a lot of time with me when I was a student. I don't know. I probably didn't train as regular as I should because I was living the student life. So he influenced me as well. And then when I came to the GB setup, my first coach was Paul Green, and he introduced me to Taekwondo and started my training off. I've had a Korean coach, Hyung-Gu No is his name, and he was a really good coach. And then my current coach, Steve Jennings, who I've been with for quite some years, and we've had so much success with, and he's my current coach, and learned so much. He's really, really good in tactics, and I've had a lot of different coaches, and I think it's key not to kind of say they're better than them and my style's better than your style, and just take from everything you can and create you into I suppose the best you can be.
Fantastic. And you've had quite a successful year in 2015. Can you tell us a few of your sort of tournament highlights, competition highlights that really were memorable for you?
I think the start of the year last year, 2015, we had a tournament in January, so it was just right after Christmas. So I was training over Christmas, training on a new year, and kept it ticking over, put in some hard graft, and then won the US Open. That was a really good tournament. Had some good fights in the US Open for Stephen Lopez in the semi, and that was quite a nice fight. Like towards the end, it got a bit exciting, so it's nice to as a third fight I'd had with him to beat him, and the last two had gone sudden death, and again good fights.
Right.
So it's nice to kind of beat a legend in the sport. And then what else was last year? Dutch Open I've always wanted to do really well at the Dutch Open. It's probably one of the best and toughest opens other than a major tournament in Taekwondo. So it's not too far from here. So there's a lot of British people and supporters out there. Just nice to do well in front of like the British Taekwondo crowd. And I had again some really good fights. And I think 4 out of my 5 fights there, I was down for like the first 2 rounds, and again just like dramatic comebacks in the end. So that was really really good to watch. I think it would have been nice to watch, but on the edge of the seat kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then the silver in the World Championships, obviously, I just been dreaming and thinking since I've got here, to win the World Championships. Yeah. Obviously the medal in, but to win it obviously didn't come off with the way I wanted to in the final. But when I first started like 5 years ago, to say that I could to be up there with the top and to medal silver at the World, silver at the Europeans, it's a dream come true really. Yeah. But hopefully the preparation to the Olympics, obviously selection's up for grabs, so to top it all off would be an Olympic gold, and I'd be happy.
Fantastic. Can you tell us about a favourite move or finishing manoeuvre that you do, or maybe you have a signature move or something you're developing that you love to pull out and surprise an opponent? What kind of things you do?
I would say one of my signature moves would be an axe kick. So they call it a chop kick in Taekwondo. So I'm quite successful with like a front leg axe kick. I score quite a lot of points with that.
Left or right?
Left. Yeah, left. Right. Generally I'm all left.
Oh, yeah,
but I'm working on some stuff on my right, so people better watch out.
Right.
I think coming from a kickboxing background as well, it's a lot of one side. A lot of it is one side, and it's predominantly one side because your lead leg's your best kicking leg and your strong hands at the back. Whereas Taekwondo's, they're like both legs are the same, and a lot of people, which is impressive. Yeah. So it's taken me a while to catch up. And I'm working on some new things really. I've used this training phase to work on some new techniques to add something into my Taekwondo game and to come out this year. So I've worked on a few different things. I'm looking forward to kind of trying out in the ring.
Excellent. We've seen you in training. You're obviously very quick, very hard hitting. Do you have any sort of mental things you do to prepare yourself to kind of defeat, sort of mind over matter?
Yeah, definitely. I value psychology really highly. I think it's between 60 to 70% at top level of how much you need it to succeed. Everyone can kick and punch the same at the top level. Everyone's really good. It's the people with the correct mental approach. So I do psychology once or twice a week, so I spend a lot of time on it. I do homework when I'm at home on it.
Oh, you actually study psychology?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So I've had meetings recently on Wednesday with Steve Peters, who's like the head of chimp management, is the model we work with, and he works with like Ronnie O'Sullivan, the England team, Liverpool team, so he's a top guy. Wow. I've spent a lot of time on psychology, and I think over the years I've learned how to kind of act in the ring and all the different processes that go on in your head, and understanding why you think certain things and what's good, what's bad, and learning what works for you. And I suppose I enjoy passing on the knowledge and the stuff we learn. It's not just like it obviously works in sport, but it's just day-to-day life, and I like to spread the knowledge really, and I like to help people out, so I really like that aspect of it.
Interesting. In Korea, obviously, they kind of founded and developed the art, and it's spread around the world. I mean, are there sort of cutting-edge techniques? I know this is going a little bit out there, but are there techniques which they sort of recommend that mentally you employ to help you with your game? Are there things you've learned?
Korea.
Artists from Korea.
Yeah, the artists from Korea. I think they, to be fair, like Korea, we go to Korea quite a lot for training camps, so I've been there like 6-7 times. They approach it in quite, I suppose, a regimented like hierarchy. It's a structure where the person above you is your senior, and you do what they say, and it's really strict, and they in Korea, they I think a lot of it's based on fear. Do you know what I mean? If you go in the ring and you don't perform, or you're a bit hesitant, like the punishment you're going to get after is far worse than the fear of going in. So
you mean from your coach?
Yeah. So I've seen some really harsh things going on over there. So probably scare tactics.
Right.
But no, they're the Koreans at the top level. There's a couple that are really, really good. Lee Dae-eun is one of the Korean champions in the 68 division, and he's something else. And he's just so calm in the ring. And one of the professors actually last time, I was chatting to him, one of the best coaches in Korea ever, really. Professor Moon's his name.
Professor Moon, yeah.
Yeah, he was giving me some advice, and I suppose you can link it to psychology. And I think in one of my fights, because a couple of headshots didn't go on, and you don't get a bit frustrated. And he just said, like, all the best players, all the best athletes in the world, just cool as ice, just focus no matter what, you don't get phased. So yeah, they work on it too, but I suppose we do it in a more scientific approach with the studying, and they probably, it's just do this and they'll do it.
Direct approach.
Yeah.
Okay. Who would you say are the top 3 in the world in Taekwondo at the moment?
Right. I'd say in terms of what's the word? Consistency.
Yeah. Skill set, perhaps. Yeah.
I think last year, in terms of consistency, I think the Iranian 58. Farzan, his name is. He won so much. I think it was 2014 as well, but his consistency was just really good. Just always in the finals, and just performing at every major tournament. That was really good.
Does he have a repertoire of skills that are?
I think in Taekwondo now, with the styles, height is really important, and a lot of the successful people, especially in the lighter divisions, they're 6'1", 6'2" at 58 kilos. It's insane. So he's got the height, and he's strong. So he's just really good. He's aggressive. He's strong. He's got good reach of his legs. I think he's really good. Wu Jingwu she's a Chinese athlete. She's amazing. She's really good. I think she's one of the best as well, out of men and female.
In terms of her skills?
Yeah, she's got a skill level, composure, consistency,
energy.
Yeah, it's everything. She's just one step ahead of the game. I think out of all of them, I'd pick her, to be fair.
Right.
She's just one step ahead of everyone, and she can make someone that's I suppose an elite athlete and just play with them. Really? So she's the next level. So I think I'll choose her out of everyone.
So those 2.
And one more for last year. If I had to pick one more, I think the Iranian, the -18, the Kobayashi, he's good. He did really well. He got picked with injury, but he's a good fighter. So if I had to pick 3, I'd pick them 3.
Excellent. Okay. What's your thoughts on getting prepared for the Olympic Games? What's going on through your mind?
Yeah, I think obviously we've got 4 selection tournaments coming up, and this part of the end kind of home run is that it's a matter of just kind of training as well as you can and going into tournaments and performing well, but at the same time just going and enjoying the journey and not overthinking it, because the pressure can get on top of people, especially if you think about what if this, what if that. So for me, it's just a matter of enjoying the journey and just putting everything I can and doing everything I can that's in my control. So controlling the controllables, and whatever happens will happen. So I'm just going to enjoy the journey and putting all the effort, and at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens.
Fantastic. Are you much into the Kung Fu martial arts movies? Because we also deal a lot with the entertainment side. That's big.
Yeah, I think not greatly. I've seen quite a few of them. But I think for me, when I was growing up, watching some of the Bruce Lee films, Kickboxer. I think as a youngster, Van Damme films for me. I just watched them before I did martial arts, and I just tried them out with my sisters and get told off. But I've always before I even knew what it was, I always had affinity to it. I always liked it and just loved watching all the different films and the VHS, and I put them in.
Brilliant.
So I've, as a kid growing up, I did like to watch them.
Brilliant. So the top 5. We usually ask people the top 10, but we haven't probably got to talk about top 5 that come to mind, really inspiring films that really.
Okay. What I liked as a kid was it was a Bruce Lee life story. With I don't know who's the actor in it, but it was
Jason Scott Lee.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. Was it?
Yeah, that's it. I loved that as a kid. I think the Kickboxer, Van Damme. Yeah. I think I liked Bloodsport as well. I think more Kung Fu was Ip Man. and on back squat.
On back. Yeah, excellent. Tony Jar's got some amazing skills there. Okay. How much time do you spend a week training? How many hours a day? Or
we train on average, I would say probably 3.5 to 4 hours a day.
Right.
On Wednesdays we have half days, so it's just one session. And on top of that, you've got your nutrition meetings if you get in your diet plan. You have your psychology sessions, physio sessions. So sometimes you can be in obviously with the setup now, so it's perfect. But sometimes you can be in here for 8-9 hours, because you just got things after things after things.
Yeah.
And obviously got your rest between sessions, so it can add up. So it's full on days really.
Excellent. Okay. Well, in terms of your favourite exercises that help you perform your best. Is it you're doing the stretches, the hamstring stuff, the splits? I mean, what kind of exercise do you do to help you be at your best?
I think, let me think. I think I like, for me, like the S&C in the gym, I like to do some heavy lifting, some leg press, some hip thrusts, just to get the strength around your hips and your legs, so you've got that whip.
Squats
kicks.
as well?
Yeah, squats. We do all I enjoy I suppose the heavy weighted lifts, so I enjoy that. Not so much because it's I think it's like completely like you need it to kick, but I think it's nice to work towards a goal and just have that in your mind where you're getting stronger and you're hitting PBs.
Yeah.
I do like coming here and lifting some weights.
Nice. What's your best squat lift at the moment, roughly?
I do leg press.
Leg presses,
and
well, they're safer, aren't they?
Yeah, for your back. So I did what did I do Monday? 220 kilos, but single leg. So
nice.
Single leg. So and then my hip thrust is about what's like hip thrust. I think it's 280 kilos maybe. So.
Nice. Your competitors are listening, so they're gonna probably try and best you on that. But. Did you do like any stunts or any kind of crazy things? Have you ever done any?
No,
things like that? Physically.
Not a stunt, but I was an extra in a film called Centurion as a Centurion. That was random. It's just all kitted up. But I have thought about it, and before I did research a little bit into it. And to be fair, after this, I would love to get into something like that.
Yeah, excellent. What one thing would you say you've adopted from Korea, sort of culturally. that kind of you respect and you brought it back to the UK? What kind of thing?
Other than the food, which I really like, I love the food.
Is it fish kind of based?
It's all sorts. It's kimchi, rice, loads of rice,
chili stuff.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. So I really like the food. I like what do I like from Korea? I do like the respect. They still got that respect system over there in the martial arts, and a lot of martial arts are transferring to sport martial arts, and they're losing the actual traditionalism. So I think it's good that they've still got the sport element of the start of Taekwondo, but the respect's still there. I think there's a balance of too much, and I suppose it can come into like a bit of bullying sometimes with it, and people I suppose using the power negatively.
You mean the hierarchy?
Yeah, I think there's a balance, but I think sometimes that in the UK people forget when they're doing certain martial arts like kickboxing or Taekwondo, and you see them training and they're doing it for sport, and I see sometimes in kickboxing like people are learning to spar and score points, but they probably got no fundamental training. They've got no strength. They won't be able to do any self-defense. They can probably just fling the hands at someone. And if people forget about why they're doing it, they forget about the stances, to be strong, to hit with the right part of the hand, to do your katas. Sometimes it is a bit tedious, but it's all getting that strong balance and to be able to actually deliver a powerful shot.
Yes.
So I think a lot of martial arts are coming away from that. So I think a bit more of that would be good for me.
Yeah, so the foundation and sticking with the basics. Right, okay. Any advice you'd give to someone wanting to take up a martial art, whichever type of art it would be, whether it's ground and pound, whether it's flying in the air like you guys. What advice would you give to someone? I would say
to them, obviously, don't hesitate, go and try it. If you enjoy it, to pursue it. Obviously, sometimes it's tough, and sometimes it's the easy options to not go or to stay in, and I don't want to go training tonight. But I think it's great. It's a great way of life, even as a hobby. All the different attributes it gives you, it's life changing. Obviously, it's good to socialise. You'll meet some really good friends. Working towards a goal, commitment, dedication, all things you can transfer. And for parents that obviously the kids want to try, just obviously for someone to be successful at a martial art, the parents are key. And they need to support them, and I think as well when kids hit a certain age, especially teenage age, 14 to 15, and girls especially, when the kids don't want to go, the parents say, they can't force them to go. They can do what they want to do. No, if it's good for them, you can pursue too, and you can help them do it.
Yeah.
So a lot of parents do just step back when the kids say, "Oh, I want to go see my mate, I want to play my Xbox," and you need to guide them if it's the right thing for them. You need to make them do it sometimes, and they will thank you later. So I think that's my advice.
Right. Right, you touched on food earlier. What kind of food nutritionally do you take to help you be at your best?
For me, what do I take? Obviously, you got your protein shakes, which is after your sessions. You've got.
Is that recommended by the sort of?
Yeah. You've got things called Informed by Sport, where you can check the products, and it's ones that are batch tested. For the doping. So it's all legal. What else do we do? You've got your creatine if you're taking creatine, hydration tablets.
Does that help you? Have you tried that?
Yeah, I tried it. I think it's good. I think it's good stuff. Hydration, obviously, you got your hydro tablets and your hydration mixes to keep you hydrated because we train and sweat so much.
Yeah.
You've got your tablets and your glucosamine and your different supplements. So I take an array of things really, just to keep me ticking over.
Excellent. And what carbohydrate-wise, rice, pasta?
Obviously your carbs, and because it's a weight managed sport, like I'm dieting at the moment, so it's being clever of when you intake your carbs and your protein, and some sessions like fasted cardio to help you burn the fat. So it's all kind of it's all regimented and kind of structured for each individual. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's tough.
If you can binge on something when you can relax and you're not competing, what do you like to have?
Crisps, like it's my downfall. Like, I love
organic.
The vegetable ones. No, if I could, like my vice is just crisps. I love crisps. I do.
Okay. What's one geeky thing about you that no one really knows?
Geeky.
Yeah, something that you've not said before.
Geeky. Currently, like I thought this the other day, like I woke up in the morning before training, the first thing I did was like go on my iPad. It's a game called Clash of Clans.
Oh yeah.
So it's just geeky, and I'm just sitting there and I was like, oh, have you upgraded your wizard tower? We're going to do it again. I just thought it's very geeky.
Yeah.
But some of the teammates have done it, and I got into it, and I just woke up and I started checking in, like upgrading my castle, and I thought, what are you doing? You're 29 years old.
Yeah.
It's very geeky. So that was really geeky.
Any other hobbies that you have?
Play guitar.
You play guitar?
Yeah.
Lead guitar, isn't it? Guitar.
Yeah, a bit of mixed. Got a new amplifier the other day, which is good. It's a thing called an iRig, which you can plug into your iPad and you can create like music on GarageBand. So I put on the guitar, the drums. It's like a one-man band.
Nice. Wow. There you go. What's one thing in life that you like and one thing you dislike?
In life, I like trying new things and I suppose step out your comfort zone. I enjoy doing that, testing yourself. And what I dislike, I suppose it's negativity and pessimism. I think people that knock things and they don't see things for life's worth living, and I think people that are negative and put people down, and they're just everything the glass is half empty. So I like optimism, and I like people that are just liberal and just try things.
Good.
And positive and outgoing.
Excellent. Okay. What's your most proudest accomplishment so far?
My most proudest accomplishment.
Whether it's personal or whether it's career-wise in training or competing.
I think obviously like being able to wear this tracksuit every day and being in the British team. Obviously winning the silver at the Worlds is my highest achievement in Taekwondo on terms of on paper. But I think it's just pursuing a different style for me in martial arts. And focusing on it, and I've been through like the tough parts and the good parts, and I've just pursued it, and I know and I believe if you want something so much and you think about it subconsciously, you'll do things to get that goal, and I kind of sitting here nearly in the position I want to be in, so that's been good. In personal life, I think I've travelled all over the world, obviously through this job, so I've seen a lot of things. Got a university degree which is under my belt. So there's a few things that I'm proud of, but there's a lot more to come. Just the start
so, in terms of what's coming in the next sort of 3 to 5 years, what do you see yourself doing? What are you eager to do?
I think obviously depending on how things plan out. If I pick the ultimate next few years, I'd say be selected for the Olympics, win gold medal, and then from that there's different avenues. I'd like to give back to GB Taekwondo, maybe go into coaching. I'd like to go into sport, maybe go into interviewing or television. I'd like to pursue sport, but that would be my dream, and just see how things pan out.
Excellent. Any sort of quotes or sort of motivating phrases that get you going, sort of light the fire in your belly, so to speak? Any phrases?
I like one actually. You know, people on tournament day and they get nerves or like adrenalized, as some people say. I just like because I was chatting to someone the other day and he said, I'm so nervous to fight, and I just said like it's fine getting butterflies in your stomach as long as you can get them to fly in the right direction.
Nice. That's a new one. I've come across that one. Okay, what message would you like to share with Kung Fu Kingdom readers, people that visit the site and see you and watch you?
Obviously I think for everyone that's doing martial arts out there, keep doing it, keep enjoying it, and people that are following Taekwondo, just check it out. You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram, and check my road to Rio and see how I get on. And I often post things online and throw some training tips and some videos. So if you find that interesting, follow me and support me on my little journey.
Fantastic. So you've got your own Twitter and
just under my name.
Fantastic. Well, Damon, we wish you all the very best in the upcoming training preparation for the Olympics, and we hope you do us proud and get gold.
Thank you. Cheers.
Fantastic. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.